What is happening, y'all? We are back at it again with another video. Today, a million productivity hacks with Alex Hormozipart. This is part 2, so let's continue. The sun is a remedy. For my I'm sworn, but you're falling. Put your hand on me. I'm falling. Note softly. It's the sweetest melody.
To overnight. So I think, whether you've stumbled on it or whether you knew about it, you've managed to leverage a pretty powerful piece of psychology there.
Sick.
Going back to the work thing, another one from you that I absolutely adore. It just takes work, shitloads and shitloads of work. Every time I try and dress it up,
It just takes shitloads and shitloads of work. Every time I try to dress it up, dress it down, identify what the work needs to be doing, the only work that needs to be done is getting the work done, getting the shitloads, getting everything done in the place within your own certain perspective, certain persona, certain identity, certain belief. Those four main pillars are what makes the work easy. And through that easy work, through that easy struggle, through that easy difficulty, nobody else will follow you. Which is the best part about the void, the unknown content, is that
cut a corner, I get brutally reminded the work just...
And when the work that nobody wants to follow, that is when you step up. That is when you just need to know that it just takes shitloads upon shitloads of work. Because when nobody follows you, that is when nobody follows you. And through this, you can get more mainstream, you can get more content, you can get more being of yourself. Because without being yourself, being unique, being yourself, then you might never know where this life will lead you to, which is probably one of the best ways to understand, to believe, to perceptualize whatever it is you are going through, whatever it is you are trying to go through, whatever it is you're trying to understand. And through this, we may never know where this life will lead us to. Which I think the best part about life is that without getting brutally reminded that the work just needs doing, and the work just needs to be done by a certain perspective, certain belief, certain habit, because without this understanding, because within this all, we know with what we must do. If we know with what we must do, then we must be doing the work. If we're not doing the work, then nobody else will do it, because nobody else will follow that path besides the exceptional one that is only willing to follow. Make sense? And through this exception, through this habit, through this belief pattern, we may never know where this life will lead. We may never know what will happen next. We may never know what will continue on moving forward. Which is the best part about the void and the unknown, is that it's all about the pressure, all about the persistence, all about the identity. Because without it all, we may never know where this life will lead us to. So, I get brutally reminded that the work just needs doing. And if the work just needs doing, then get the work done with now. Because at the end of the day, if you don't get the work done within the matter of your own standards, to perspectives, to beliefs, then you might never know where this life will lead us to. Which I find very intriguing and very interesting, is that without not knowing where this life will lead us to, that's the best part about life, in my personal opinion, is the void and the unknown. And through the void, through the unknown, that is when we learn more about ourselves than anybody knew about us. Which I find very intriguing, because you get brutally reminded that the work just needs doing.
It's doing.
And within this need of doing, we feel the need to become better, to become more like the version of our future self. Because if we're not relaying the information for like a future self, then we may never know where this life will lead. And where this life will lead is the unknown void of what is needing to be done. And what is needing to be done is the work by the end of the hour versus the end of the week. Because if you wait till the end of the week, you only post 5 videos, versus by the end of the hour, you would already have those 5 videos already made. Depends upon how long it takes for you to make content. Me personally, it takes me about 20 to 40 minutes to make a full video. So I could get 3 videos done. 20, 40, 60. Yeah, I could get 3 videos done or 1 long video. 1.5 long videos. Which is why I try to sum it up as best as I possibly can. So, key takeaways of this segment. The work just needs doing. The void is the unknown, and the unknown is the void. 3. We must know with what we have, which is time, energy, and persistence. So don't lose all those 3, because if you do, I will see you on the other side somewhere. Number 4. Do the work now, because if not, it will get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, which is delayed gratification and procrastination at its finest. Number 6, or number 5, big hand. You know the hand of the story of the work that just needs doing, so just get the work done with now. So, let's continue.
The work doesn't care who you are. It just cares that it gets done.
The work doesn't care who you are. It just cares that it truly gets done to the end perspective, to the end timeline, to the end goal. Because at the end of the day, the work does not fucking give a fuck if you are not caring, or if you truly are trying to see other people from their own perspective. I've got 99 problems, and that's real, man. And that's free living. Well, not Louis. Because the work does not give a flying fuck who you are, what you do, because the only thing that matters is the work getting done. That's a knock on wood, because if the work does not get done, you are procrastinating and you're evolving yourself to conform to the complexity of that space and to the complexity of your mind. Because if the work doesn't give a fuck, why don't you just work harder and get more stuff done? Because if you get more stuff done, then you feel better at the end of the day and at the end of the night. The work doesn't give a flying fuck who you are, what you're capable of doing. It only cares about you getting the work done.
We will get you 1 million views or you don't pay. And if you give me 15 seconds, I'll explain exactly how this works. First, we build a tailored system around what's working in your niche, and then implement content systems for you so that all you got to do is sit down and film for a couple hours a month. Next, we place a highly trained editor from my...
I'm actually going to reverse quote David Goggins on this one.
But let's see how good this Goggins quote is. If Goggins is listening to this, let's see how good this is. I wonder if Goggins is listening. Who knows? Because he's probably in Cali or wherever the hell he's at. We'll see if he's listening. And your question is if Hormozi and Chris are listening to this, I wonder what they're thinking about it. Could be good, could be bad. I have no idea. So let's continue.
I love this quote that he has, which he says, "There's no shortcuts for you, David," or "There's no shortcuts for you, Goggins." I heard him say that, and I just love.
There are no shortcuts for you, David, or there are no shortcuts for you, Goggins. Like for me, there's no shortcuts. The only thing that needs doing is the fucking work, is the fucking struggle, is the fucking pain that you need to take. Because of We do not take the pain. We conform to the complexity of what we are trying to do. Ain't that right? And through this complexity, through this understanding, through this belief pattern, we know with who we are, because who we are is what we do and what we say. Ain't that right, people? And through this complexity that we are conforming ourselves to, through this no shortcuts, through this perspective, through this understanding, you cannot conform to the standards of other people. You can only conform to the standards that you have set within the baseline of your life. Because if you waste time, energy, and willpower, those are three main pillars that drives you forward, that pushes the motivation, that pushes the hamster on the wheel to continually on pushing itself. Because if you do not push yourself, nobody will stop you. Nobody will push you. Nobody will put the pen to the paper, because they have no idea who the fuck you are, who the fuck your story is, who the fuck they care about you. Because nobody cares about you more than your grandparents and more than your family. Which means I care about myself too much to lose myself. Which means I would rather be making content with my eyes bleeding and my voice running out of words, because I have nothing better for my time to do besides play video games. And even at that, I make gaming content. So if you're curious, go look at my lives. I have a good portion of lives out there. I've been playing Battlefield 6, Battlefront 2, Battlefront 2015, MLB The Show. I'm working on my franchise for MLB The Show. So, Alpha, there are no shortcuts for you. Bravo, do the work now because the work needs doing. Charlie, without the essence of doing, there is no path for the reasonable person. Delta. Number 4. Oh wow, my eye's twitching. That's not fun.
that as a refrain, which is that a lot of people look for a shortcut. But the idea that you say, like, they're not for you, you don't get to use them, you are immune to shortcuts. I just love it because then it just further shortcuts.
You are immune to further shortcuts. You're immune to them because nobody takes shortcuts. They have to do the hard work because once the hard work is gained, it is gained. It is the advice that you're looking for. It's the perspective. It's the identity that you're trying to gain. And through this, we must know with what we have, if what we have is what we do. And if what we do is what we say and what we say is what we are, then we must know with what we are doing. I really hope that that makes sense to you. And through this, we must know that if what we are doing is betterment for ourselves, betterment for each other, betterment for the identity of whatever it is we're trying to shift, whatever it is we're trying to say, and whatever it is we're trying to understand. And through this, we must know what we are doing, what we are saying, and how we are becoming. Because of how we are becoming, then we may never know with what we are doing. Hopefully that makes sense.
Path to the work that needs to get done. And I wrote that tweet on my, I don't know, 11th run of this presentation that I'm doing, because that's a recent one.
Yep.
And so it was like 11 o'clock at night. And so right now I'm working triple shifts, which is not common for me. I usually do 2, not 3. So for me, a normal work day is like, I wake up, I start working at 6 or 7, and then I go until about 6-ish. So it's like 10 to 12, really concentrated hours work. And that,
For me, my only work right now is content, and I work on maybe 2 to 3 hours worth. Like, I'm gonna try to do a 12-hour day tomorrow by getting up at 7, continually on working until 7 p.m. That's my main goal. Wake up around 8, continually on working. I'm gonna work until my eyes bleed tonight, which means I'll probably be going to bed earlier tonight because I need to get up early tomorrow so I can work on my 12 to 10 hour day. Because if nobody else do the content, I have to do it. I have to make it. I have to make this worthwhile. Because if I don't, then I may never know what this life will lead. And within this life, I may never know what this life will be taken for granted. Which is why don't waste another hour, don't waste another second on your wasted life now.
do 6.5 days a week. I usually take Saturday afternoons off. And it's really just because at that point I can't work anymore and my brain's stew, and then I get my 1/2 day and then I'm good to go. And I'm rearing to kick on, to work on Sundays. My triple shift is I go to dinner and I come back at 7:30, and then I work from 7:30 until 11:30 or 1 or whatever, right? And when I'm putting in triple shifts is when I know I'm like really gassing it. And that's when I'm like repeatedly doing 16, 17 a day of actual productive work. And I hear the same thoughts that everyone does, which is like, it's not going to matter. Like, it's fine. It's good enough. Like,
It's not gonna matter. It's good enough. Because it's fine. Like, it's all good enough. Whatever it is good enough for you, it is different for other people. For me, my good enough is working on content for 10 to 12 hours a day. I want to try to accomplish that one day this weekend. To see how much I can do, see how much I can post, see how much I can say, see how much I can curate. Because if you think it's good enough for you, it is different standards for other people and different conformity and standards to yourself also. That's why I go like this when trying to pack down. So,
hate that. Like, it makes me sick to even say that, right? Because the thing that I like, David Goggins, right? He's got like, there's no shortcuts for you. I would say the one that I have 2 that are like my internal ones. One that is probably the most common is I will do what is required.
I will do with what is required. And through that, you have your own baseline, you have your own standards, you have your own perspective based around what you are doing. So don't stop, don't reiterate, don't dictate, because when you dictate and reiterate, that is when times change. That is when times evolve. Which means you have to be evolving with the crowd, evolving with what you are doing. Because if you don't evolve, you won't learn the lesson that you are trying to learn.
And this work needs doing. And there's just no way around it.
And And there's just no way around it, because the work that just needs doing needs to get done, because if not, it will not get done by you or other people. You have to follow the path that nobody follows, because it's the path of least resistance. It's the path that is calling your name. Curate content. Curate school. Curate whatever it is you want to curate and put it into your own words. Because if not, other people will not follow. Other people will not understand the dream, the goal, the reality. Because without it all, you may never know where this life will lead. And where this life will lead is a path of an exception. And one of an exception is one of an exceptional person. I don't think I need to explain that anymore. You can just look up Alex Hormozipart Life of an Exception, which life of an exception is being one of an exceptional person, because without being the exceptional person, you are putting yourself down, putting yourself out. And when you put yourself out, that is when you give up. That is when you don't try. That is when you continually putting the pressure on what needs to get done today. Because if you do not, you conform. You put delayed gratification. You conform again, over and over and over again, until you pack a perfect snowball. Hopefully that makes sense.
And it's just looking at the face of the work, and it's like smiling back at me like, no one else is going to do it.
And when nobody else will do it, that means nobody else will follow. That means nobody else will understand how much hell, how much turmoil, how much pain you went through, because they don't understand the story that you are going to one day tell. They don't understand it because they can't even fathom around their own fucking life. They can't get their life in order. They can't get life in a straight arrow.
And like, I love that one. Like when we're recording content in the early days, we were doing like 100 shorts every time we did it. And it was direct to camera. And it was...
That's me. I try to post 5 to... I haven't done 30 yet. I'm going to try to hit 30 tonight. I'm going out to dinner with my family, so that kind of cuts it in half. So I probably will try to do... I have 5 right now. I'm going to try to do 25 to 30. I was going to go shoot hoops for a little bit, just to clear my mind, clear my thoughts. So, let's continue.
Time I could fit it in with all the portfolio stuff that we're doing. And so I was...
Actually, I'm just going to end it there. So if you guys learned something, please leave a like. Please comment about what other content you want to see. Save it, like it. If you want to come back to it, that's fine. And look at my school. I'm keeping it completely free for the next 2 months. And I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, stay yourself, stay liquid, and be you. Peace.